God knows what else lurks in the deep, but these fish prove nature has a bizarre sense of humor. Seriously, today we're diving into the weirdest fish ever discovered. The kind that make you question reality, evolution, and whether you're even safe in a swimming pool. So hit that subscribe button like it's a panic button on a submarine because things are about to get deeply disturbing. Thank you. The colorful giants of the pond. Have you ever seen those big, colorful fish swimming gracefully in garden ponds? Those are koi fish. They're famous for their bright colors, fun patterns, and surprising size. They can grow up to 3 feet long. That's as big as a toddler. But what do these gentle-looking giants actually eat? Well, you might be shocked to know that koi fish have been caught on video eating whole eels like popcorn. They usually search for food at the bottom of ponds or lakes, munching on insects, fish eggs, algae, and even smaller fish. And guess what? They use 2 little whisker-like feelers near their mouths, called barbels, to find their snacks, kind of like cats use their whiskers. But these also have taste buds. Now here's something even more amazing. Koi fish have been swimming in ponds since the 4th century in China. That means people have been keeping these fish as pets for over 1,600 years. And if you take really good care of them, they can live for a very long time. Most koi can live over 50 years, and some even outlive the people who take care of them. In fact, the oldest koi fish ever recorded lived an unbelievable 226 years. That's older than your great-great-great-grandparents combined. How anyone kept track of that is still a mystery, but it just adds to the magic of these beautiful ancient fish. The hairy fish that walks and tricks its food. Wait, a hairy fish? That sounds wild! But here's the twist. The hairy frogfish isn't actually hairy at all. Those fuzzy strands are really tiny spines that help it blend into its surroundings, like seaweed or coral. This little creature is a true master of disguise. Living in warm ocean waters, the hairy frogfish can even change its color to match where it's hiding. You could swim right by and never notice it. Instead of swimming like most fish, it prefers to walk along the ocean floor, using its fins like little legs. Strange, right? But it gets even cooler. This fish is a sneaky hunter. Imagine a fish that goes fishing. The hairy frogfish has a special spine on its head that looks like a wiggly worm. It dangles this bait to trick other fish into coming close. And when something gets too near, snap! It opens its big mouth super fast and swallows the prey whole, sometimes a meal twice its own size. Thanks to its stretchy stomach and clever tricks, the hairy frogfish is one of the weirdest and most surprising creatures in the sea. The tiny monster of the deep sea. Ever seen a fish that looks like it swam right out of a horror movie? That's the fang-tooth fish. It has giant, sharp fangs that make it look super scary, like a sea monster ready to attack. But here's the surprise. It's actually really small, only about 6 inches long when fully grown. Phew! Luckily, you won't likely run into one because they live far, far down in the ocean. Between 1,600 and 16,000 feet deep. They spend their days hiding in the dark and come up a little at night to find food. So while they look frightening, they're more likely to give you a jump scare than do any real harm. Imagine being almost blind but still being a great hunter. That's the fang-tooth fish. Since it lives in such deep, dark water, it can't see well, but it has an amazing way to sense movements and vibrations in the water. That helps it find and catch prey even without good eyesight. And those terrifying teeth? They're not just for show. They're actually deadly. The funny part is, the fangtooth had to evolve a special pocket in its head just to hold its huge fangs, or else it might stab its own brain when it shuts its mouth. Talk about a clever survival trick. The shocking truth about the white margin stargazer. Don't be fooled by the goofy face. This fish is a silent assassin. Meet the white mim stargazer. At first glance, it sounds like a peaceful little sea creature, maybe even a daydreamer staring up at the stars. But nope, this fish is anything but peaceful. It's called a stargazer because its eyes sit right on top of its head, looking upward. Why? So it can hide under the sand and spy on its prey from below. It buries itself with only its creepy little eyes poking out, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. It lives in the Indo-Pacific Ocean and loves snacking on things like squid, octopus, and unsuspecting fish. Sneaky, right? Camouflage isn't even its scariest weapon. This fish is armed and dangerous. Not only is the white marge stargazer a master of disguise, but it's also poisonous. That's right, this fish has venom-filled spines to stab its prey. And if that's not terrifying enough, get this. It can generate electricity with a shocking jolt of up to 50 volts. This fish can zap its enemies like a living taser. So next time you see a funny-looking fish half buried in the sand, just remember, it's not smiling at you. It's waiting for dinner. The funny fish that digs with its mouth. Imagine a tiny fish that builds its own house in the sand using just its mouth. Meet the yellow-headed jawfish. These clever little creatures live near coral reefs, but instead of hiding in rocks, they dig burrows in the sandy floor. You'll often spot them poking their heads out, waiting for food to float by. But the moment anything big or scary swims past, poof, they dive back into their sandy hideout. Life out in the open is risky, but these jawfish have turned it into an art of survival. Ever tried digging a hole at the beach, only for it to keep collapsing? That's daily life for the jawfish. Its burrow constantly needs fixing, and the fish does it all with its huge, powerful mouth. That's why it's called a jawfish. But here's the craziest part. Male jawfish don't just dig with their mouths, they also babysit with them. The dads hold their fertilized eggs in their mouths to keep them safe, gently spitting them out and sucking them back in to give them fresh air. Now that's what we call mouthful parenting. The yellow boxfish, nature's funky, deadly design. Imagine seeing a bright yellow fish covered in black polka dots. It looks like a tiny floating box. Yep, that's the yellow boxfish, and it really lives up to its name. It's square-shaped, super yellow, and honestly looks like it belongs at a fashion show underwater. But don't let its cute looks fool you. If this little guy gets too stressed out, it releases a powerful toxin that can kill other fish around it. So, if you're a fish, it's best to admire this one from a distance. Now here's a fun twist. Did you know this fish inspired a car? Back in 2006, the engineers at Mercedes-Benz were so fascinated by the boxfish's weird shape, they designed a bionic concept car based on it. They thought the boxy design made the fish super efficient, but turns out it's not the shape that helps the boxfish move so well, it's the way its fins work with its odd body. So, maybe not the best car model, but hey, nice try, Mercedes. Who knows what creature will inspire the next big thing? Beware the rock that bites, the deadly stonefish. Imagine stepping on a rock and it tries to kill you? That's not a horror movie. That's a real thing called a stonefish. This sneaky sea creature lives in the tropical waters of the Indo-Pacific and looks just like a normal rock on the ocean floor. But don't be fooled. This rock is one of the most poisonous fish in the world. With 13 sharp spines on its back, it hides in the sand, waiting, and if you accidentally step on it, those spines shoot out deadly venom that can cause extreme pain, swelling, and even heart failure if not treated fast. So, planning a beach trip? Here's why you might want to double-check where you walk. Stonefish love to stay still and hidden, making them almost impossible to spot. And their sting? It's not just painful, it's dangerously painful and needs immediate medical help. Some people describe it as the worst pain they've ever felt. The good news? You can protect yourself. If you're wading into shallow waters where these bad boys hang out, wear thick water shoes, shuffle your feet, and pray you don't meet this deadly rock the hard way. The fish that can change gender. Imagine a fish with a giant bump on its head and a face that almost looks human. Meet the Asian sheep's head wrasse, also called the Kubidai. These strange-looking sea creatures live in groups of females, all ruled by one big tough male. But here's the twist. If another male shows up, it's battle time. The winner becomes the boss of the group. Now, what happens if the old leader gets weak or dies? Nature has a wild solution. One of the females can actually turn into a male. Yes, really. She disappears for a few months, hides away, and transforms into a strong male fish. Bigger body, new features, and all set to take charge. Now get this. This fish doesn't just change outfits, it changes its whole biology. Inside her secret hideout, the female grows male organs and becomes ready to fight for the top spot. Once she's back, she might challenge the old male, and if she wins, she becomes the new leader. This kind of gender switch isn't totally rare in the fish world, but the Kubidai makes it look epic. Some fish even go from male to female, and a few can make babies all by themselves. In the deep ocean, where danger is everywhere, these crazy adaptations help them survive and thrive. Pretty smart. Why the blobfish looks so weird but isn't dumb. Ever seen a fish that looks like a grumpy cartoon grandpa? That's the blobfish! With a squishy face like Mr. Magoo or even a doodle someone made as a joke, this poor fish has been called the ugliest animal in the world. Harsh, right? But look a little closer. It's kind of funny and adorable in its own weird way. With a big jelly-like head, tiny eyes, and lips that look like it's always frowning, the blobfish seems permanently annoyed. And honestly, wouldn't you be grumpy too if everyone kept making fun of your face? Here's the twist. What looks like a bad design is actually genius. The blobfish lives way down deep in the ocean, up to 2,000 feet below the surface, where the pressure is so strong it could crush other animals. But not the blobfish. Its jelly-like body, with barely any bones, is perfect for surviving down there. So while it might look like a melted cartoon character to us, in its deep-sea home, the blobfish is a quiet little survivor, doing just fine in its underwater world. The funky fish that walks and hops underwater. Imagine a fish that doesn't swim. It walks along the ocean floor like it's out for a stroll. Meet the psychedelic frogfish, a bizarre little creature living in the coral seas around Indonesia. Unlike your typical fish, this one prefers to hang out at the bottom, using its fins like little legs to push itself up, and even hop along the seafloor. With its wild orange and white swirls, it looks like a fish straight out of a dream, or maybe a 70s cess disco party. But those trippy patterns aren't just for show. They act like camouflage, helping the frogfish blend in with coral and sneak up on its next meal. But here's the sad part. This funky fish is vanishing. The psychedelic frogfish is now one of the rarest fish in the world. Why? Because its home, the coral reefs, is in big trouble. Climate change and pollution are destroying the very places this little hopper calls home. And since each frogfish has a one-of-a-kind skin pattern, like a fingerprint, every single one lost is truly irreplaceable. If things don't change soon, this magical-looking fish might disappear from our oceans forever. The only warm-blooded fish in the ocean? Meet the opa. Imagine diving into the freezing ocean and finding a fish that's actually warm. That's the opa, also called the moonfish. It looks like something from a cartoon, round like a car tire, with a bright orange body, glowing fins, and a belly covered in soft white spots. You'll often find it swimming around Hawaii, but it can show up in other oceans too. What makes the opa truly special isn't just its looks. It's the only fish that can warm its whole body, not just parts of it. That's right, the opa creates its own heat, even in the icy deep sea. Now here's the wild part. Most fish get slower and weaker in cold water, but not the opa. It keeps its body about 10 degrees warmer than the chilly ocean around it. This clever trick helps it stay fast and strong even in freezing depths. With its warm core, the opa's heart and muscles work perfectly, making it an amazing predator. While a few other fish can heat up certain body parts, the opa is the only fully warm-blooded fish we know. It's like the superhero of the sea, built to survive and hunt in the cold where others can't. The terrifying truth about the toothpick fish. What if I told you there's a tiny fish out there that might swim up your private parts? Sounds like a horror movie, right? But this real creature, known as the toothpick fish, or kangaroo, actually lives in the Amazon River. You've probably heard jokes about it in movies, but yes, it's real. This little fish has a freaky reputation for being attracted to urine and possibly swimming up the urethra of unlucky swimmers. While actual cases are super rare, the legend lives on. The truth? It's not out there chasing humans. It usually prefers to hide in the gills of other fish, where it sticks itself in with tiny, sharp spines. Ouch! But why does it even do that? What's the toothpick fish after? Blood. Yup, this creepy little parasite bites a hole and literally sucks the blood from its fishy host. It's one of the few parasitic fish scientists know about. And that cute name, toothpick, doesn't mean it's harmless. It means sharp, pointy, and dangerous. If, by some terrible luck, it does swim into a person, trying to pull it out can be extremely painful, tearing things on the way out. And if it stays in, well, it'll start feeding. So maybe, just maybe, skip swimming in the Amazon River. The creepiest shark you'll never meet, goblin shark. Imagine a shark that looks like it swam straight out of a nightmare. Part alien, part squashed dinosaur. That's the goblin shark, with its long, pointy nose and razor-sharp teeth. It's no surprise people find it terrifying. But hey, looks can be deceiving, right? Even though it has a super creepy face, the goblin shark has a cool and kind of scary trick up its fin. It can shoot its jaw out like a slingshot to snap up prey. One moment, the fish is swimming by. The next, chomp. Those jaws shoot forward and reel the meal back in. It's spooky, no doubt. But here's the twist. You don't really have to worry about this shark chasing you. Surprise! The goblin shark is actually super lazy. It moves slowly and doesn't waste energy on high-speed hunts like other sharks. So if you ever did see one, you could probably outswim it just from pure fear. Still, one look at this creepy creature is enough to give anyone the chills. Honestly, I'm glad we're done talking about it. This fish is nightmare fuel. The beautiful, killer fish that's taking over the ocean. Wow, look at that fish! It's so fancy! That's what most people say when they first see a lionfish. With its flowing fins and bold stripes, it looks like something out of a magical aquarium. And for years, it's been a favorite among fish lovers and aquarium owners. But here's a twist. Behind that beauty is a big problem. The lionfish isn't just a pretty face. It's actually a dangerous invader. Originally from the Indo-Pacific, this fish has somehow spread to places like the Caribbean and the southeastern coast of the US, where it doesn't belong. Lionfish is ruining everything. Sounds dramatic, right? But it's true. The lionfish is a sneaky predator, and it's been eating way too many small fish in its new homes, especially parrotfish, which help keep seaweed under control. Without enough parrotfish, seaweed starts to grow wild and smothers the coral reefs. Scientists are worried because these reefs are already struggling from climate change, pollution, and overfishing. Now, with the lionfish gobbling up everything in sight, the ocean's balance is getting thrown way off. It's a classic case of beauty becoming the beast. Deadly yet delicious. The shocking truth about pufferfish. What if I told you there's a fish so deadly it can kill 30 people with just one bite, and people still choose to eat it? Meet the pufferfish, the second most poisonous vertebrate on Earth. But really, who cares about second place when it's this dangerous? To stay safe in the wild, the pufferfish inflates itself like a balloon when threatened, making it nearly impossible for predators to bite or swallow. Funny enough, this puffing trick might actually save the predator's life too. Because even one little bite could be fatal. Nature's got a dark sense of humor, doesn't it? Now here's the crazy part. Despite its killer reputation, people still eat pufferfish. In Japan, it's called fugu and is considered a delicacy. But this is not your average sushi. Only specially trained and certified chefs are allowed to prepare it. Why? Because one tiny mistake with a knife could mean instant death for the person eating it. Every year, a few people ignore the rules and try to cook it themselves, and that usually doesn't end well. And that's just a glimpse of the underwater madness lurking beneath us. If your jaw's still on the floor, pick it up and smash that subscribe button before one of these fish does. Hit the bell so you don't miss the next weird wonder from the deep.